Hey, hello guys, welcome back. And today's live is all about signs that you're in a toxic relationship. So I am live on Facebook and I am also live on Instagram. So again, like I usually do, I'm juggling between cameras, but to make it more easy, I am going to focus on Facebook, which is this camera, but I shall come back and say hello to anybody who's watching. So if you're joining me today, I would love for you to share some love, let me know where you're watching from, let me know what your thoughts are of the live today. And if you're watching on replay, please do put in hashtag replay and let me know any idea of what you felt that the live was and how it all went. So I've not been so well, so I do apologise about this live. It was supposed to be yesterday, but I'm putting it out today instead. And I've just had to wear this blue shirt today to give myself a little bit of an oomph because I just felt like I was completely drained. So bear with me guys, you know, like they say, the show must go on. So I am here just kind of carrying on with the live as normal. So signs of toxic relationships, okay. So first of all, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Nazia. I am a toxic relationship recovery coach for those of you who don't know me. And I'm so excited to be on Facebook and to be on Instagram as well. So the 7 signs that we can, well, there's plenty of signs that we can pick up that we're in toxic relationships. But unfortunately, when you're in that relationship, you're probably the last person to see it. Your friends might say it to you, your co-workers, your family, people that you know, people who know you. Because when you start hiding into this person that they don't recognize, they might say, do you know, you're not the same since you've been with that person. And, you know, you might get a bit defensive and think, well, maybe this, you know, this person is great. They're love bombing me and they're giving me everything that I need and all the attention in the world. And your family and friends and people that know you and love you and care for you will always see signs that you don't. So the first thing is you'll see that people will always pick up that you're not quite yourself when you're in a toxic relationship. So I can see some of you guys are watching. Just want to say hi there. I'm not sure who it is, but I just want to thank you so much for watching. I can see Zinat there on Instagram and on Facebook. I can see 2 people, but guys, you know what I'm like. I'm just not that tech savvy, but I will come back and say hello to you guys. So 7 signs of a toxic relationship. Okay, number 1. Okay, what they will do is try to monitor where you go, who you're with, where you're spending your time, and they will try and control that time frame. So you might say, hey, do you know, I want to go out with my friends today. You've planned it for weeks, you've not seen them for a long time, and then you're about to go out and you get a phone call saying, hey, be ready, we're going out tonight for dinner. And you're like, but I've made plans already. And they'll come and sabotage your plans and then last minute say, have you forgotten? I made plans, I made reservations. Oh, so you'd rather go out with your friends than you'd rather go out with me? And they make you feel guilty. So they will always kind of be in that situation to monitor where you're going, what you're doing, and they don't like you going out with friends. They don't like you spending time with people apart from them. So they will try and monitor, and they're very insecure about where you go because they probably have trust issues, and whatever their issues might be, they'll project them onto you. So that's one of the first signs, that they will try and monitor what you're doing, who you're with, and every time you want to go out somewhere or you've got some plans, they'll probably try and sabotage them. Okay, so that's one of the signs, and I've done videos about these kind of topics before, and I will be covering it in some more lives at a different stage. But if there's anything that you guys want me to elaborate on, please feel free to send me a message. Let me know. Hey, Zainab from South Africa, thank you so much for being here. On Facebook, thank you guys for being here. I will come back and say hello to you guys later. Okay. Another one of the signs about when you're in a toxic relationship and you're just not sure if you are or if you're not, they will take away the control in making decisions. Okay, so I know that when I was in my toxic relationship with my ex-husband, I would come home one day and there would just be brand new sofas. You know, it's like, hey, where did they come from? Or we are probably gone out shopping somewhere and I've come back and there'll be he's just made a life-changing decision and I wasn't part of it. And the reason why that happens, because it's a form of keeping you small, it's a form of keeping you condensed, it's a form of control to make you feel that you're not important. So eventually, when it starts And it can be very subtle. It can be the smallest of things, you know, where you're going for dinner, what you're going to be going out the next day, what your plans might be. It might be where you work. It might be where they want you to work. It might just be when you see your friends and family, going back to point number one about kind of monitoring where you are. So just by having that control and having that withholding that not withholding, but withholding that information from you and not allowing you to be part of the process, what that makes you do is become dependent on them. So eventually you will get to the stage, hey George, thanks for watching. Eventually you will get to the stage where you won't be making decisions no more, and you'll start looking to them to make your decisions for you, because that's how they've created and molded your relationship. So that's another sign to be careful of, that when you're in toxic relationships. Excuse me, I'm just going to try and make sure my voice doesn't crack up, because I've just not been too well, but you know, let's move forward. So we were talking about control. Okay, sometimes people associate abuse to physical, mental, emotional, so many different forms that it can come in. But another form of abuse in relationships, like toxic relationships, is when your partner or your parent or your whoever it may be, that's that person who's toxic in your life, is monitoring you financially. Okay, and they are controlling what finances they're giving to you. They might be giving you a certain amount. They might be saying to you, your wages might go into a certain account. I was actually just speaking to one of my clients the other day who was telling me exactly the same situation, and was saying that, you know, we have a joint account and my wages might go into the joint account, but his wages go into a different account, and therefore we don't know what they're doing with that money, but it's not coming into your hand, and yet, you know, you're very monitored. So they might monitor your wages. They might be the breadwinner. They might only give you a certain amount of money that you can just live on, or you can survive on, or possibly you can't even survive on. I'm just going back in time thinking, when I was in that situation, I attempted to leave my husband in that time. And when he knew, when I came back, that I was possibly going to leave him again, he literally, everything was taken off me. I was literally counting pennies, thinking, when I leave him eventually, these are the pennies that I will have. So it gets to that point where they will try and monitor what your income is, what your expenditure is, and that is a form of abuse. And people don't sometimes realize, and they might say, well, he's not controlling me, you know, mentally or emotionally. It's just the money, but I'm not good with money. Are you sure you're not good with money? Are you sure that before you came into this relationship, that you were capable of managing somewhat finances, where you've suddenly gone to the point where you're kind of asking for money? So just to bear in mind, that is another form of abuse that toxic relationships do involve. Okay, now another trait of toxic relationships is when you flag up something that needs to be addressed in the relationship. So for example, you might come in and say, hey, something's not working, I need to address this problem in our relationship. And that person, boom, they just go off on one. You know, they go from like 0 to 100 within 2 seconds. Hey Jennifer, hey Lydia, thanks for being here. So the second you just raise any concerns that you have in a normal, healthy relationship, someone would sit down with you and say, okay, let's take on board what you've got to say, and let's see what we can do to address this issue. In a toxic relationship, the person will take it as a personal attack. The person that you are with will take it as a personal attack, and they will just completely shut you down, completely. And then the situation kind of turns into manipulation, and you kind of become this, like this mouse just kind of quivering away, while this dominant person is just like kind of shouting down at you, shutting you down. Because when they shut you down, and you kind of just get weighed down to the point where you think, do you know, I just forget it. I just don't want to talk about it no more. And then that gives them that control. And then that's what happens next time when you want to address that situation again, and you want to revisit the issue that's not been resolved. You'll probably be walking on eggshells. You'll probably be walking on eggshells and thinking, shall I raise that again? I mean, last time that happened and this guy went crazy, so I don't really want to like raise that issue again. And then you find yourself walking on eggshells and that topic is closed. But anytime you try and set a boundary, then that person will turn around and just shut you down. Another sign that I want to tell you is that they will probably say to you, that's it, I'm done, I am leaving. I can't take this no more. I cannot take you constantly abusing me. And you're like, I only brought the conversation up. I only want to discuss this with you. But by giving you that ultimatum of, excuse my language, but shut your mouth. That's it. You know, I don't want to hear what you've got to say. And if you say it, I'm gone. It will make you feel like, oh my God, you know, I need to just like retreat a little bit. And that gives them that control. So whenever you try and bring up anything that needs addressing, that person will just shut you down, okay? Sorry, I'm just going to make sure I'm in the right angles here with the cameras, okay? Going back on that topic again, another topic that I want to bring up, another point, sorry, is that when you do bring up anything, it could be anything that you want to do, where you want to go, or something's happened, the blame will always be your fault. So you will always say, yep, I've just got Lydia saying to me, yep, he says that multiple times a day. And that is very common, just going back to my previous point, you know, and it's always going to be, you know, they make you feel that you're not good enough. And when you have codependent issues with people and you don't want them to leave, that fear and that trauma of, well, if they leave me, what am I going to do? Just keeps you in that relationship. And that's exactly where that person wants you to be. They want you to be feeling that you are stuck and you can't move forward, but they want to have you without a voice. So when you raise your concerns, you raise your voice, they don't want to know, and it keeps you small, it keeps you shut down, okay? I was just going back to the point that I was saying before I mentioned that comment, when you are in that relationship and anything may happen, okay? The car might break down, they might get late for work, they can't find their keys, the dinner got burnt, the dog ate the dinner. It could be anything. They lost their job. They had an argument with someone. It will always somehow be your fault. You will be to blame. There will always be something that it comes back to you. Because of you, the car didn't start today, because you took it out yesterday and you didn't put petrol in and you left the battery on and now it's flat. Or I lost my keys because you didn't put them in the right place. I lost my job because I was so busy at home looking after the home and the kids because you're so incompetent. Everything will always come back to you, okay? Lydia's just saying, always my fault, and my ideas or things I would like to do never happen because they're huge arguments. And that's right, Lydia. Just when you get a chance, go back and watch the replay on this. And I was just covering some of them points previously, that it always comes back to you. But the blame game will always be you. You will always be the reason that anything happens, that will be your fault. Hey, Rizwana. Hey, Tanji. Thanks for being here, guys. So just generally kind of going back and blaming you for everything. So, and sometimes it can be really subtle. You won't even realize. I mean, if you were in a healthy relationship and something happened, a normal person in that relationship would say, hey, do you know what? Shit happens. It happens. What can I do? I'm just having a bad day. But when you're with a toxic person, this is your fault. Because you did this, this is now what's happening. Because you did that, this is a consequence. And it might even be, going back to one of my previous points about the blame, because you wanted to discuss our situation, I am now walking away from this relationship because I can't take it. You are crazy. You know, you always bring these situations up. Hey, Zara. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate you. And on Facebook as well. Honestly, I don't know who's watching, but I will come back and say hello to you guys as well, okay? So Instagram, Facebook, thank you guys. I really love you guys being here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you guys are getting on. I'm always aware that I don't want to stretch out these videos too long, but I've just got a couple of more points that I want to raise. Well, a final point that I feel is super duper important, okay? And this is something that people don't always realize. Hey, Zara. I have spoken to many clients, okay? And this comes up again and again, and sometimes it comes as a surprise because it's something that you don't always realize. When I ask my clients, has this person been in your relationship? Have they been there for you? And on reflection, they might say, well, no, not really. Have they fulfilled your needs? Well, no, not really. But there was that time when I was really upset and they cuddled me. Okay. And there was that time when they probably beat the crap out of me, but then they give me a hug and then they loved me and then they showed me and they love bombed me after that. Or there was that time when such a thing happened and I was really broken down and they showed me affection. This is when toxic people know that they feel less vulnerable to be open to you, and it's when they will show you that love. When they see you on your knees and you're upset, you're crying, you're broken, you're distraught, that is when you will probably get the affection from these toxic people. That is when they feel that in control. You're not a threat to them. You're small, you're weak, and you're broken, and they will come and they will cuddle you and they will look after you and they will tell you how much of their love for you. Maybe not. But that's what I've seen from my experience with a lot of clients. And they come to the realization that, wow, I never made that connection before. So if you find that you're in these relationships, it's something just to bear in mind, okay? So I know we're going on again to 17 minutes. I kind of wanted to cap it at 10 because I know I got a tendency to waffle. But I just wanted to let you guys know that when you're in a toxic relationship, and this could be you guys, you tend to feel really ashamed that you got to this place, how you got to this place, and you don't want to tell people. You want to keep it within yourself. But what you've got to remember is eventually the person who's abusing you will wear you down to the point where you will start believing what they've got to say. And this is why I am so passionate about creating this awareness, about letting you guys know about toxic abuse, so that you can create a great cycle in your mind, create something that kind of just like a flame that ignites, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, I noticed some of these traits in my relationship. And then you can make a decision to say, although it's not always an easy one, can I walk away? Do I want to walk away, or do I want to be here in a year's time? I know, Lydia, you're just asking me, do they believe that is all our fault? They will always say it is your fault. You are basically a walking time bomb, and every time you walk somewhere, you're about to trigger off something, it's always your fault. Everything's going to be your fault. And you don't want to be stuck in this relationship where you're there forever. So I have created a 8-week coaching program, which is called 8 weeks to skyrocket your self-confidence, which really breaks down the traits of toxic relationships and what we can do to acknowledge ourselves and know that we deserve more and know that we deserve better. And if this is something that you feel this video is talking to you, please get in touch with me. I would love to support you. I would love to help you. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, and let's connect. Otherwise, speak to someone, speak to friends, speak to family. But just going back to my previous point of, if you know someone who's in a toxic relationship, they will not always reach out to you because they feel that shame. I did not reach out to my family at all. I actually went to a friend of mine because I just thought, if I don't tell anyone, tomorrow I might be dead and my kids are going to go through my husband's going to, in that time, my ex-husband's going to go to jail because he'll probably kill the kids as well and he'll commit suicide. And I had all these ideas. So it's only when I reached out to a friend and I said, this is my family's number. Please, if anything happens to me and I'm not here tomorrow, make sure my children are safe. And it's only then that she reached to my family and they supported me because I never reached out to them. So if you know someone who is in a toxic relationship, don't sit on the back burner. Reach out to them. They'll probably reject your offer of support. They'll probably not want to do that because they feel that they're stuck in that relationship. But just knowing that there's someone there to support them or pick them up when they do decide that they want to leave makes a world of difference. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, it might not be next year, but whenever it is, just knowing that someone's got your back makes a world of difference. And I want you guys to know I've got your back. I am here. If anyone wants any support, anything to do with toxic relationships, I would love to support you. I would love to help you. Okay, so I hope I've not gone on too long today, and I know I'm again a little bit messy today, guys, but again it was just what I could ruffle up with not feeling so good. But thank you so much for being here on Instagram and on Facebook. I will go back and revisit my messages and say hello to all you guys, and I just want to say thank you. It's always great having you. Okay, have a great day or a great evening wherever you guys might be, and I will be back on my live on Monday next week, 7 p.m. UTC time, and hopefully there won't be no hiccups this time. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Take care. Bye now. Okay, so let's figure out how to end this now. There we go.